right, so this brings us to our model. And our model is pretty simple. It encompasses a lot of very necessary considerations, plans, approaches, but it always starts with the business outcomes we wish to realize at the very center. Remember, this is our why, right? And so the very first step is strategy. Strategy, in my mind, is how do we get to a plan or an approach that we're going to take with things, right? We can't do everything all at once, and we'll talk about that in a second, um, but really it's about finding, and we'll talk more about each of these as I go around the horn. So don't worry about, trying to catch everything the first time. So if we have a strategy in place, then the next thing we can do is design. And we'll design our coachings in terms of what triggers the coaching, what message or assistance we want to provide, who gets it under what situation, and a host of other factors to consider. And I'll show you an example of a charter document that we typically put together that forms our design. Once designed, we then implement. And this gets us a little bit into the technologies and their capabilities and how we can, implement and put them in place. But there's a second piece to it, which is around how can we prepare our people, create our processes, implement any reporting, and so on, so that we can kind of manage things and work with them as we go through. So, which brings us to monitor. Monitor means simply we need to keep an eye on how things are working, what impacts. Hopefully they'll be all positive, but what impacts are we seeing, and are there any issues or challenges we need to address? And then if there are any items to address, we'll do that in the manage step. This is where we can add or remove agents from coachings, add, modify, or sunset any coachings that no longer apply, and so on. So manage is kind of where we get to making sure everything's working and taking those actions, right?